Welcome back to Absolute Nianema, where we talk about Arknights Files, especially the well-hidden ones. And today, we're doing a side quest, because the Master's Travels is secretly a prelude to Act or Die. While for someone like me, a devout Cinema Nights fangirl, Act or Die is the holy grail, because it's a combination of Vanquid lore, which we needed so desperately, and 3 different operators who can tie into the niche. The Master's Travel actually gives us straight up 2 Cinema Night members before the actual Cinemaphile event happens, right under our noses no less. The first one should have been obvious with Sancta Mikusparator, because it is Fiametta's grandfather. Of course, he's a cinemaphile who actually goes on a movie date with the Doctor in his promo record, which is adorable. The other one, though, is the real treat, which is Lemuen. The connection here is a bit more shallow, but she's quite clearly been bitten by the cinema file bug, thanks to Matisma showing her B movies while she was recovering, and while the implication is the fact that Lumen is supposed to just be finding comfort in such a deranged way, I think she's just a slasher film fan. So I'm taking that and running with it, because Lumen is great. I mean, everyone knows she's great. Super the Contrarian said so, but for me, I like her not because she's good, but she feels like an amazing evolution of the Deadeye subclass who takes notes from Fartu's and Ambrose's usage of the global range and does it in a way that isn't hampered by the class, nor does it without being, well, obscenely powerful. For me, Lemon is making Deadeyes great again, and I want to celebrate that fact, even if it means delaying Abjur's by a week. While I am a Defenders Knights fan in the shell of a Cinema Knights fan, Snipers are easily my second favorite subclass in the game, with a lot of fun units in their lineup. A few we talked about before, but my favorite subclass in the game, well, for this, I guess, overall class is easily Deadeyes. Don't get fooled by the feed loop shooters. There's just something so appealing about a class that focuses on high damage over long range because they feel like they really embody the title of sniper. I also like the class has like 3 different core identities depending on who you use. It's either the class that uses stealth as a survivability tool, a high DPS nuker, or global range death, with most of its members overlapping into them unless your name is Andriana, because you fit into none of these categories. Ha ha ha. Anyway, Lemuen fits into the global range death camp, while also being a high DPS nuker because I don't want to talk about her S3 yet, alone her S2 just yet. Although, unlike her predecessors of Anvil and Fartif, she approaches it not through a skill, but a talent, which is definitely for the better. Diploma, I'm not saying the full thing, is her first talent, which is core to her identity. Basically, she will make an elite or leader type enemy well marked with wanted if they've been in her range or the range of a fellow Santa Laterino's range for 8 seconds. Enemies under wanted take 15% more damage, and Lemon can hit them. And yes, it does mean she gets global range from this, and it's glorious. We are beyond Ambriel's slow-ass Vader suite and Fartooth's linear as hell Feathershine arrows. This is Year 6 gaming, where we do ally support, but better. And if you know anything about me, you know I love this girl already. As a fat champion of Faction Knights, Lumen having her core identity not only get better by pairing her with fellow members is great, and I love it. But she's also not being crippled by the fact you're not playing into it because of her own fantastic range. Plus, it does help that once you apply Wanted, that shit isn't going until either the target or Lone Wind dies. It's guaranteed death that only gets better once you factor in 2 of her skills. Plus, the talent isn't wasted in Cinema Knights, considering Cinema Knights has Executor, both of them, Viametta, and Sancta, who can help apply that Wanted status. She also has Modus, her second talent, which gives her an extra bullet and extra 10% attack, which actually matters a lot, actually, especially for big damage skills, because more uptime is good in this case. It's so good, in fact, they made her Mod Y buff it, and I'm glad they gave her the Mod Y as a release module, because I think it's the good module for her. Yes, Mod X would up her DPS quite well, but Mod Y is great for Deadeyes as it shortens the time needed to enter the instant death mode. Well, unless your name is Luna Clapper, we don't, talk about her here. She has her own video for that. Anyway, get this to Mod 3. Yes, Mal says Mod 2 since it's plus 2 bullets and 50% attack, but Mod 3 gives you 20% attack and cuts the wind up time for the talent from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. It also lets you up the ammo capacity of fellow gun angels by 1, but that's a case by case use case situation, whatever those words mean. Basically, mod fee gives you more boom boom sooner, and you should always support boom boom time, so get this at mod fee. Slav Itium is her S1, and I will continue to butcher these names as long as they insist to be some Latin nonsense, says the proud German inside me. Anyway, this is Lemuen's AFK family skill. Yes, her S2 can be a AFK too, but her S1 is for people who actually don't want to reactivate the skill again after she deletes her ammo bar on deleting fools. Basically, it's an offensive recharge skill that automatically activates, giving her the ability to crit and hit 2 enemies at once. It's okay, and I do kind of like this skill, but it's not worth the M3 unless you're a Lemuen fan. Stop looking at that. Well, I'm not going to do the master of this skill because I don't want to encourage using it, but if you want to master it, I would recommend stopping at the M2 breakpoint as it gives you 6 ammo instead of skill level 7's 5. But seriously, you're not getting much value from the masteries on this skill. And if you really want to hit multiple targets, SV gives you an ultra laser. Why do you want to fire 2 bullets at once in comparison? I said stop looking at that. Honesta Misio is the real bread and butter of Lemon's game plan, basically giving her a very strong attack and attack speed buff, which is very important for Deadeyes who have horrendous base attack intervals. Its real meat and potatoes, though, lie in the wanted side of the skill, where she will lock in on a wanted enemy while charging up a shot, only firing if she reaches the full charge time or if her attack is higher than their remaining HP and defense combined. You might think it's bad, but while she's charging, her attack scales to obscene levels, which leaves us with equally obscene damage. Did I also mention this bullet ignores dodge because fuck you, shield it or die? There's a lot of reasons to like this skill, beginning with the fact that normal attacking doesn't consume ammo in this state, making it a far better Fartooth S2, and especially a better Lunar Club S2. Of course, the nature of Wanted will override her class trait, which makes her hyper-focused on boss killing in this state, but, like, that doesn't matter when Lemuen just, like, can 360 no-scope that fucker. I'm gonna take a crack at a master real quick for you, and so you can just, like, do skill level 7 using my kinda half-built Lemuen. I have also included M3 maps just so it can really sink in how ridiculous this skill is. These are numbers fellow Deadeyes wish they could hit, yell at any other DPS in the game. This is what a Deadeye should be, and I love it. It's just everything. It's a great AFK skill for daily farming, that then doubles as your go-to boss killing skill in challenge runs, and should be the highest priority mastery on her. It's just so damn good and core to her gameplay, and is the reason to use it 80% of the time, because the other 20% of the time is the real fun time. Memento Mori, because I'm not saying the full thing, is the designated fun button. Just like how Fia has her SV fun time, Lemuen follows in her footsteps by giving us several Persuader global SVs at once. Basically, she will stop attacking and start locking in on enemies, stopping once she has assigned all 5 of her bullets. And once she does, Ragnarok begins as she delivers death from above in AoE nuke form. Is the skill gimmicky as hell like Fia's SV? Yes, it is, because it uses the default targeting for the class instead of the wanted status targeting. So she's gonna be always picking the weakest enemies for this skill. Is it fun as hell just like Fia SV though? Yes, it is. Being able to apply 5 AoE nukes is wild, and is why her mod 2 is so important, because that's 2 more nukes you can use to bomb the enemies into the afterlife with. Memento Mori is a very apt name for this skill too, because the damage is nothing to scoff at, with skill level 7 being 270% of her attack, and with the center target getting hit with 390% of attack. I'm going to be extra devious and show you the M3 maps, because this shit is straight up evil. I'm also going to bring in my Fia with some updated SV M3 maps, so we can really just show off how obscene this is. And yeah, she just straight up out damages Fia here. Yes, my Burb has unlimited generation, but this has Persuader global range. This wins by a landslide. Look, this implies that they should be competing against each other, but in reality, they should be working together to blow up the world. Basically, Memento Mori is for when you really want to do a Memento fucking Mori on some poor sods. God, that felt good to do. Look, Lemuen is such a great addition to any roster, and it goes double for especially for the roster of Cinema Knights. Considering Executor and Sanctor make for great companions with her, as they are both kind of Persuader solo laners who can get expanded attack range skills. Especially Sanctor, whose SV helps with both solo laning and replenishing bullets to fellow Lateranos, means applying Wanted and gaining that Persuader global range when you want it is quite easy. Plus, you can take advantage of Fia's huge ass artillery range to really make sure no elites escape your sight. She's so versatile as well with her S2 pulling double duty as an solid AFK skill and a boss killer, and her SV is just the designated chaff killer, and having good tools that gives her a use outside Simnite for you normal players who just want to use your new fancy geek with her. Lemuen is great, which is not normally something we can say about Deadeyes, which makes me so happy. Lemon is the result of the blood, sweat, and tears poured into perfecting Deadeyes, and is built upon the mistakes of her forebears. While she might not be as dripped out as my Fartooth, I will gladly give her a permanent spot not only in my Cinema Night squad, but also my Daily Driver squad, because she is that much fun, and I'm so glad that she has made Deadeyes great once again.